All right, what is going on, everybody? We are here with another Be the Exception podcast. We have Tyler and Carrie Billington with us. They just finished off their grid season with a championship win. Congratulations, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Tyler, unfortunate about the lat.
Yeah, it kind of sucked, but
Yeah. How's it doing?
it's getting there. I finally did a set of like 4 or 5 kipping pull-ups the other day, but they were all singles.
Okay.
It's progress. I couldn't hang on to the bar for a while.
Right. Yeah, those lat tears are nasty. They can take a while to heal. We'll probably get more into that, but thanks for coming on, guys. And yeah,
Thanks
you
for
guys just want to tell everybody a little bit more about yourself, kind of like maybe we'll dive into like kind of athletic journey, how you guys maybe got into CrossFit, how you switched over to grid, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sure. Do you want to go first
Go
or
ahead.
me? Me. Okay. I pretty much been like in some sort of a sport my entire life. Then in college, I did like competitive cheerleading and stuff like that. I cheered for college. Kind of started me into CrossFit really because there were a lot of people that I cheered with that kind of did CrossFit, and that's kind of how they trained and did conditioning.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of got me into CrossFit, and then we had our local CrossFit gym. The guy there, he just like the guy that owned it. His name was Kent Stamey. A lot of people know him back in the day in the CrossFit world, but he's known.
What time
for
frame was this?
this?
Like 2013, 2014.
Yeah, he opened
Okay.
the first one in North Carolina, the first CrossFit
It's like
gym,
one of the first 100.
or well, maybe
the-
in the first 100. I
across
don't
the
know.
world.
Okay. What
Yeah.
area of North Carolina?
In Hickory, North Carolina.
Is that north of Wilmington?
We are west.
Yeah.
West of. Okay.
Yep.
We're
Sorry.
like near
I thought maybe
Yeah.
I'd known the area because I was down in Wilmington back in like 2010 and 11.
Okay. I want to
So-
say he opened in like 2006 or 8.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, like he's like OG.
Yeah. Dang,
Yeah.
that's a long time ago.
Yeah, he's known for like being a dick. Let's be honest. I don't know, but that
It works. So
Yeah,
it,
like-
it works for him.
it totally like bought me in. I don't know, like someone like telling me seriously, this is awful, but like telling me that I suck and like I need to do this and I need to do that and like giving me these awful workouts that would take like an hour to complete. That's what like bought me in. So then I like drank the Kool-Aid and I was all into CrossFit and I just that
Yeah.
was so yeah, then CrossFit we kind of bought all in. Like I was a part owner of CrossFit Hickory after he sold.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
I owned that, and then we actually branched off and we opened our own gym, CrossFit Stacked.
Okay.
So we've owned 2 CrossFit gyms basically, and
Yeah.
now we've sold both of those, and now we only do online stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
okay, so you were talking about like just doing grueling workouts and like it's almost like when you have a challenge in front of you, is that kind of like what brought you in or got you a little bit more hooked, is the fact like these workouts were taking so long and it was so challenging to get them done? Or
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, just anything like I like grindy workouts anyway that are like really long and hard. I mean, like that kind of stuff. Like Tyler, this is bad, but he used to weigh a lot less, okay? He's put on a lot of muscle since he first started CrossFit. But
so many people would be like,
Throw me under the bus.
sorry. It's true though. But
Yeah.
Kent would make him like carry a yoke out by the road, like where everyone can see, like a main road for like a mile. Just make him carry that
And I
thing.
did it just because that's what he told me to do.
It was crazy stuff, but it was fun. I don't know. Yeah.
yeah,
Just
CrossFit
and
back in the day used to be so wild, just like
Yeah.
so wild.
there
It's all-
was no
it's all-
scaling. Like he would
Yeah.
just be like, "Oh, you can't do it. Just keep trying."
Right. And I almost think there was some benefit to that, to like people who stuck with it and like were competitors later on, because it forced you to get stronger. Like if you weren't able to do the RX weight, you're
A
like,
lot of
whoa.
mental fortitude, honestly.
Yes. Right. Yeah. And I almost wonder like if that was something that, because there's a, like our era, 2010s, 15s, there's a lot of those competitors that had pretty long longevity like in the sport. And in between that, like this 18s to 22 was kind of like a lot of flash in the pans, one-off individuals. So I'm wondering if there was just something to that, like just grind mentality that you developed early on.
I could see that. I think that's why we like grid, because we have to like learn to do things and, challenge
Always
yourself.
challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you guys are actually, so this is actually some, maybe we can jump into this now, but this is something that I kind of wanted to chat about is you guys are pretty much all self-taught for grid, correct?
Yeah.
Pretty much. We have a local gymnastics place that we go to occasionally to get help with things like some high level ring skills if we need some assistance, or like aerials for instance.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Not a fan, Carrie.
I mean, not really, but we also didn't like take lessons or anything. It was kind of
Right.
like, hey, you can do it off this mat over here. You want to go try? And so we would go just throw ourselves on the floor.
Eventually, get this. I went on Facebook Marketplace and bought some mats. And
Did you
just
really?
'cause I was tired of going to the gyms. I was like, I'm going to get my own mats. I'm going to practice in my backyard.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I guess for those of you that don't know, Grid came out this year with some new movements, one of them being aerials, which is basically a flip in the air, correct? A front flip
Yeah, it's
of
like a
some
1
sort.
foot take off, 1 foot landing type
Okay.
cartwheel. Two-handed
Yeah.
cartwheel for
It looks super easy, but for some reason it's not.
I think your definition of looking super easy and 99% of people's might be a little bit different, Carrie. But yeah, it's a one-footed flip in the air, or one-footed takeoff, no-handed cartwheel, and basically nobody on the Wild could do them to start the season. Is that correct?
Yeah, nobody could.
So what kind of made you guys be like, all right, we'll do this, like we'll tackle this challenge?
I mean, I feel like that's kind of our position on the team anyways. Like we are the gymnastics bodyweight specialists, so it is kind of left up to us to learn that stuff. So
Okay.
I had a conversation with Dan and I was like, yeah, I'm going to try it. I'll give it, all my effort I got. And
Yeah.
we eventually it was killing my ankles, how we were landing and everything. So I had to find a workaround for this flip. So I looked at the standards for the grid league, and all the standards says was it needed to be a 1 foot takeoff. You needed to be inverted with your shoulders or your hips directly over your shoulders, and then land with 1 foot first. Whatever happens after that, it's unknown. So
Okay.
doing a bunch of research, and I was like, I finally found a flip that could possibly work. It was called a Webster flip.
Okay.
That was a lot easier for me to learn, and it met the standards.
Interesting. Okay. So you kind of started doing your own research and found this thing that worked for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Was it so the original that you were doing, was it like a traditional aerial, the original one, or?
Yeah, the original one is the traditional aerial.
Okay. And that one was killing your ankles.
Yeah, it's I couldn't get my legs around quick enough.
Well, he
to
can't
land
do
it.
a split, and you
Yeah,
kind of
I'm
have
not
to.
flexible enough. for
Yeah,
it.
there's a lot of flexibility to gymnastics, and people who are not gymnasts, we don't bend that way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, true. Very true. Okay, that's very cool. So you guys just felt it was your responsibility to kind of take on that challenge and just and figure it out for the team, basically.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that.
I kind of feel like that with everything. It's I don't know, who's gonna do it, and then if Dan's like, hey, I need you to really work on this, then it's okay, well, there's probably not anyone else that can do it, so we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Where do you think that mentality comes from, though? Do you think that kind of reverts back to old school CrossFit, or?
Yeah, I think it definitely has some correlation with that.
Yeah. Do you think that was do you think you had that mentality before CrossFit, or did CrossFit bring out that mentality?
I don't know. I've always been super competitive all through high school. I mean, I'll be straight up. CrossFit completely changed who I was completely. I used to
Okay.
be this shy, little sheltered, like didn't talk to hardly anybody, but CrossFit like
Really?
opened me up completely.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
So Tyler, in high school, you were like, you just kind of like kept to yourself a lot and like,
Yeah, I mean, I just did my own thing. I was, 125, 130 pounds soaking wet when I graduated.
hmm
Always did sports, just the cross country, swimming, track and field, that
yeah,
kind of stuff, but was super competitive with it. So I always had that drive and that mentality there.
yeah,
But then after high school, it was like, what's next?
yeah, yeah. And so you found CrossFit right after high school or?
It was kind of my senior year, my second semester of senior year. I only had like a couple classes in the afternoon, so I
Mm.
would go to CrossFit in the morning 3 days a week at like 9:30. Kent would be there, and I would just walk in, and he's like, it was actually Kent was my dad's old friend growing up, so he gave
Okay.
me a really good deal. I just kind of helped clean the gym. He let me come
Yeah.
work out, and whatever he told me to do, I did.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Very cool. And so like, and that started just kind of building some confidence for you or?
Yeah, yeah. I think CrossFit in general just built a lot of confidence in me.
Yeah. Was it like seeing the, was it like, was it seeing the progress? Was it seeing like maybe the loads lifted? Like, what do you think gave you that confidence?
Um, to be honest, growing up, I hated being called the skinny kid. Absolutely hated
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
finally, like seeing the changes in like your body, gaining some weight, seeing some
Yeah.
muscle was just like a big confidence booster for me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So the physical change is kind of what brought out that confidence.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very cool. It's always crazy how much CrossFit I think especially back in the day changed people's perspective on like life and just
Oh
in
yeah.
general. Like
I mean, we
and
saw it when we owned the CrossFit gym. It's like you see the people change just by their
yeah.
confidence building up. It's cool.
Yeah. What was your guys' like favorite success story out of the gyms that you guys owned?
Oh gosh,
I feel like there's so
there's
many.
so many. We've had several. We've had a couple really good teen athletes that we've really built up throughout the years.
Yeah.
One, Rihanna Taylor, she was really good.
Yeah.
I coached her since she was like 13 years old, and she followed me from gym to gym wherever I went.
Oh,
And then
awesome.
she went to like Granite Games and competed individually there in the teen division. She did
Nice.
really good.
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
say Ada too.
Ada was really good.
She's
She,
still competitive, so be
yeah,
on the lookout for
Okay.
her. She went to the little the pit team throwdown and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ada Irvin, she's gonna do really well. She's
Okay.
very, very strong, very, very strong.
Yeah. And so these were individuals that were working out at your guys' gym before you guys sold or
Yeah.
yeah,
okay. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's sweet. It's yeah, super cool. I think there was like a time period where you kind of lost some of those stories, and I feel like it's starting to come back around here, and you're starting to see a lot of some of the younger athletes just like pop up and gain some of that confidence now. So that's fun to
Yeah.
see.
yeah. It's really cool.
So what got you guys? Obviously, like so you started around 2013 timeframe in CrossFit. What got you guys into competitive CrossFit, or was it just kind of like that's what you did when you started CrossFit?
It probably was like a year of me just doing brutal beat down workouts. And then finally I just kind of started working out with Kent. And
Okay.
Kent competed at like the regionals way back in the day. And
Yeah.
so there was always like that competitiveness, and he pushed us to, sign up for competitions and stuff like that. That's kind of what led us into the competing aspect of it.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the same thing, Carrie? Is you just kind of that's just like what it was?
I felt like that was just what you did. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. He was just like, yeah, you're going to sign up. You're going to go do this. You're going to compete. We're going to see how fit you are. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah.
like what you did. Then we started doing team stuff because like team stuff really wasn't that much of a thing. I mean, it was, but it wasn't like super intense and stuff like it is now. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, but then we started doing team stuff, and that like I don't know, that's a whole different side of competing. I think just because. And maybe that's one thing with grid too. It's like you feel like you have a role and you
Mm-hmm.
also have people that you don't want to let down. So
Right.
competing on a team is a lot different than competing as an individual for sure.
For sure. Yeah. So like, can you dive into that a little bit deeper maybe and just like kind of talk about why it's so different? I think you hit on some of the topics like being there
Yeah,
for
I mean,
people, the accountability.
yeah, I've been on a lot of different teams
Mm-hmm.
throughout CrossFit. Just I've competed actually a lot. Like if you tell me that there's a competition on Saturday and you want me to do it, I will do it. Like I really enjoy competing. Now
It's
I
Yeah.
hard for her to say no.
yeah, it's hard for me to say no, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now I was a lot more competitive before I had kids. Now it's a little bit different, just
For
priorities
sure.
change and all that kind of stuff. But
Right. Right.
before then, like if you told me that I was going to do a competition, I'm not going to let my people down. So I'm going to like do as much as I can. I'm going to do extra stuff. I'm going to whatever I can do to make my team better. That's kind of where I'm at with that. And I don't know. I guess does that stem from team sports? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because you played team sports your whole like kind of growing up, right?
I pretty much played every single sport except for volleyball. I don't really know why, but I played everything, even like basketball and whatnot. Now, not in high school. High school, I
Okay.
kind of had to choose. Like I did a little bit of softball, and then I kind of dropped off of that and did like competitive cheerleading. That was just like huge for me. I did
Okay.
like partner stunning and all that kind of stuff. That was my thing.
Gotcha. Is that the person that's flipping or?
No, what's funny is like, yes, I had to do some flips and things, but like I didn't
Yeah.
have to do flips because someone was always tossing me and throwing me. I did like the basket tosses. So like if you told me to do a flip way up in the air, yeah, I did that. But like actually doing it on the floor, I didn't have to do that.
It was like like you already had the momentum going, so you're like just
Yeah.
keep going in there.
Yeah. Yeah. If
That's
someone has
funny.
to catch me, I will trust you 100%. But if it's myself, it's kind of maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. So it does sound though like there's a lot of like built-in trust with others, and maybe that was something that contributed to like being better on or like wanting to do team a little bit more. Or
Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
I've always been on really good teams though. Like I feel like I don't I feel like I'm very lucky. Like the people that I've been on teams with like were like in the past, we not now because I'm not where I was, but like I was always on the elite team. Like we were in the elite divisions. We were competing in the elite divisions. We were doing all these things. And so I've had like people that I don't want to say they like pulled me along, but they were like motivating to me to be better for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So what like I feel like it's hard to find that environment now though, like where it's you have all those like fire breathers in the gym, and it's like that's motivating you to get better.
Yeah.
Because like were the people you were competing with on team were they in the same gym as you or?
Not, no, actually, no. One was kind of local that I used to compete with a lot. Stevie Dellinger, she's in Morganton, so she's like 30-ish minutes away.
Okay.
But then one of my other really good friends, she was in Wilmington.
Oh,
Stephanie
okay.
Grange now is her
Yep.
name.
Yep. Yep.
But we've competed together for years and years, and those are people that I don't know. I guess I got started with, and then we've done all kinds of different team things.
Yeah. Very cool. So had you guys ever been on a team, you and Tyler, or?
Like together?
Yeah. 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 Minus grid.
Not very often, but yes.
Back in the day, we done
Yeah,
several.
yeah, actually.
Yeah, we done several like team competitions back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Did you
Tyler
guys
just
ever
like stopped competing.
Yeah.
Sorry, say that again.
Tyler just stopped competing. I don't know.
Oh, really? When was this?
I mean, I've done like your local, competitions here and there for like the fundraising events, but like the big ones that we used to do, I don't know. I kind of fell off of CrossFit for a little bit, started dabbling into some other things, just like some bodybuilding, powerlifting, stuff like that for a while.
Well, you had a shoulder
Okay.
surgery.
Yeah, I
So.
had a shoulder surgery, so that kind of
Oh, okay. And is that was kind of the time frame that you fell off of CrossFit, or?
it was actually owning the gym made me fall off of CrossFit, to be completely honest. I was teaching from 6 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., 7, 8 classes a day.
Yeah.
Had shoulder surgery like 3 months into opening the gym.
Oh,
So
brutal.
all that compiled, it was just, it led to serious burnout.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
And so,
was in school to become a firefighter at the same time of doing all that.
oh, so
And
you
we
had
were
a,
having a baby. Don't forget that.
oh, wow. So you were
Yeah.
grinding.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Are you starting to come out of that kind of burnout phase now, or because how long ago was
Oh,
that?
that was 2018. I haven't really gotten back into like the competing side of CrossFit in a while. But now it's just like I enjoy the crap out of grids. So it's like I know CrossFit carries over so much to make you better at grid. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna train CrossFit to be better at grid.
Okay, got it, got it. So you're kind of using it as a tool for your real, like your main sport, which is grid.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, got it, got it. And what made you guys fall in love with grid? Because this is your second year now doing grid.
Second season with the Wild. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. And okay, how did you guys meet Dan?
So we met Dan. It was probably what, 2020 maybe 2021. No,
No,
it was
it was-
before the COVID era.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it was like probably 2019. But we met Dan at Grid Six in, I believe it was Columbia, South Carolina. When they hosted.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Okay.
I was still recovering from shoulder surgery, so I wasn't able to compete. But out of the athletes at our gym at Stacked, we created a team, and I took everybody down there and I coached them through Grid Six and everything.
Okay. Got it.
Steph
Got
was
it.
on our team then too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Stephanie
Oh,
Grange.
really?
Yeah, we got her to go. I was like, hey, you're gonna come do this thing. I don't really know what it is. That was the fun part about it, really, though, because I had no idea. A lot of the people, pretty much our whole team, no one knew what was
nobody
going
knew.
on. Tyler would
really?
literally be like, hey, push us out there and be like, 12 deadlifts, do it. And we'd be like, okay. And then he'd be like, get over here. And that's like what we did. We didn't even know what any of the things were. It was
Yeah.
hilarious.
That's all. So whose idea was it to go do? Tyler, I'm assuming it was your idea to go down and do this.
Yeah, I think it was.
Well, the SAGL people that you were on the team with before.
Yeah,
contacted
that's
you.
right. Some
Yeah.
people that I was on the SAGL team with contacted me,
Okay.
and they, hey, let's try and put a team together.
Got it. Got it. What and SAGL? That was.
That was the Southern Amateur Grid League, one of their spin-offs that they had.
Because you
Okay.
did that before
Yeah,
Grid.
I did that
Yeah.
before
Oh,
Grid.
okay. Okay. So you had some grid experience prior to
Yeah.
going to that Grid 6
I went
event
to
then.
back in 2015. I went to a pro day out in LA for the NPGL, the National Pro Grid League. When it was,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah,
I remember. Yeah, I remember that. So, okay. So you had been paying attention to grid since grid started then.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. How did you find it, or how did it catch your eye?
And I honestly don't even remember. I think it was just like one of those things you saw on Facebook or Instagram, and it's like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Let me try this.
Yeah.
And then
Okay,
they had
okay.
their grid trials that you could do online, and I tried some of those things and ended up getting a message to be invited out there. So I was like, let's see what this is about.
Very cool. Okay. So you went out to the pro day, and then what happened after the? Did you play at all, or?
No, I didn't get picked up on any sort of pro team or anything.
Okay.
It was a cool experience to definitely go through and see, just to meet all those awesome athletes. Like I think
Yeah.
Willis McGahee or somebody, I think that was who was out there. He was a pro NFL player. He was
Yeah.
trying
Okay.
at the same time. So it was cool to go out there and see all those athletes.
Yeah. Wait, was Willis McGahee trying to play grid?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Man, they had so many like just crazy people doing grid back in the day.
Oh yeah, there was Dmitry Kloklov played grid.
Yeah. I remember watching a YouTube video of him like after he was done in the Russian training hall, and there's like subtitles on it, and it was like, I can't squat anymore because I messed my knee up doing like a 365-pound thruster on the thruster ladder or something like that. Like, what?
Insane.
Yeah, yeah. That was a fun era of the. I think just fitness in general. Honestly, that was a fun
Yeah,
era.
yeah, it was really cool.
So then you went Southern Grid League, because that started in what, 2016, 17?
Yeah, I think it was 2016, 2017, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were hosting like a tryouts weekend, and me and another guy from the gym that I believe I was still at CrossFit Hickory. We both went down and tried out for the weekend, and ended up getting signed on one of the teams. I think it was the Titans
Yeah.
for the
Okay.
Grid League then. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. And so, how long did that last for? Like a year or two or something like
I
that?
think it was just one season with them, and then the
Okay.
next season it was like, hey, we're gonna do another season, and then it's like it never happened.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So then Florida Grid League started up, and that's been kind
Yeah.
of growing a little bit more organically, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. So you guys met Dan, and when did he? So like, has he been pestering you guys to do grid since like you met him, or was it more just over the last 2 years that
I
he?
think he messaged us on Instagram. It was before last season, so it was probably maybe January, February last year or the year before.
Okay, okay.
And was asking us, if we would have any interest, and then we eventually got on a phone call with him, and he gave us the rundown, and it's like, sure, this sounds fun.
Remember how I always said that I always say yes? We said yes.
We said yes.
Well, honestly, it's been really cool for us because it's kind of like we get our like time away from our kids just to like
Yeah.
be us and like do
Mm-hmm.
something fun that's competitive, and then we still get a little vacation out of it. Then we come home and we're back with our kids, and everything's, it's not like we're dying, our body's not like completely broken, and we have to like, you know, put ourselves back together after like a really long CrossFit competition or something. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So
I mean, Tyler's broken, but
yeah. Yeah, it is quite a bit different than a CrossFit competition, because you guys just basically have one hour and a half match over the weekend for the most part. I guess there's some weekends that are doubles, right?
yeah.
And then your volume of play also is pretty varied on each rate or match, correct?
Right.
Yeah, you're not doing
It's
a crazy
more-
amount of volume, but
It's
Man,
CNS.
after a weekend of grid, like I get more nervous for a grid match than any sort of CrossFit competition.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, the last one he didn't play, and his whoop strap was like off the
my
charts.
strain was still like insane, and I didn't even play.
Yeah, yeah,
Really? Okay.
yeah.
So
Just adrenaline the whole time is insane.
yeah.
what? Okay. So what do you think is the difference between the two, in regards to like the stress levels leading up to it?
I think it's just the amount of pressure that
Yeah.
you have on yourself. Like you've got such a big team. Me personally, I don't want to let anybody down. So
Yeah.
it's like I got to, do my absolute best, no mistakes, because one singular mistake can cost a race.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I feel like we have more like the gymnastic stuff. Like we aren't gymnasts, so those are those things that like you can really mess up on. It's not like, I mean, like obviously some barbells are super heavy and stuff like that, but most of the time like if you can actually hit that weight or not. But
Yeah.
like, can you land a flip, or can like sometimes
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know. I'm gonna try my best.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like match with the aerials. Like I had learned that Webster flip like a week and a half before.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're just going to send it and see what happens.
So it was
16 reps later.
yeah. So it was a sleepless night before the match. Like, I have no idea if I'm gonna even hit one out there.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
We ended up winning both of those echo matches
I
too.
know. I don't know how.
talent.
I mean, yeah. Our team put us in a good position for that.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like,
For
our
sure.
team helped us
Wasn't
out.
it Amanda and Pat on the?
Yeah, they really started us off.
They got us a good
strong.
lead
So
on those.
Yeah. 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 You guys were everybody together this season was just a ton of fun to watch. I remember, so like I was watching Grid back in like 2014, 15 timeframe as well. And like, there's just the execution back then, it was still a new sport, but like everybody kind of knew their job, and it was still like they were trying to figure it out. And like they pulled in some just like, I mean, Circus Olay people, like just crazy talent. And like last year I remember having that in the back of my mind, and just like watching some of your guys' matches, just being like getting frustrated. I was like, why are you not doing your job right now? But the difference from last year to this year was just unbelievably different. And like everybody came out and just, you guys needed a year to learn basically. And you guys came out and you just did your jobs, and it was just so much fun to watch.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun being a part of it.
yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. So what's, I guess after this, like what's next for you guys now?
Looking forward to the next season, I guess.
Yeah. I'm doing Fittest of the Coast, so I'll be doing that.
So you'll be out there, Carrie?
Yep. So
Which division are you in this year?
the old people one,
35.
35 to 39.
Okay.
So
What did you think of that competition last year? Obviously you're doing it again, so I'd assume you enjoyed it.
yeah, I thought it was put together really, really well. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I thought it tested all the areas of fitness, so I liked it. Plus, it's in Charleston. That's a good area to go to, and
It is.
compete
Yeah.
there. It's fun.
Yeah. Tyler, are you ever gonna step out of CrossFit retirement?
I don't know, man.
He needs to do a competition with me. It's always fun.
Yeah.
Listen,
Man, I feel like you get buried into the ground and not want
I've
to do
got
it.
movements that I'm just like, I'm okay with not doing anymore. Like my shoulders, it's like snatches, overhead squats. I'm
Yeah.
cool with never doing that stuff again.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do that, but he'll do a back roll on the rings and butterfly muscle ups and back up.
It's different.
See, the loading's just so much different.
It is,
Yeah.
but it's funny.
So Tyler, do I have this wrong? But were you like a stunt person at one point in time?
I mean, not really, but my high school year, senior year, we had a stunt team, like a part of the cheerleading team, and it was a bunch of guys that we had together, and we were called the stunt team.
Like
Okay.
partner running, not
Yeah.
like jumping out of cars.
No, nothing like that. We just done like
Okay.
throwing people up, catching them, and I was there doing all the flips and stuff like that.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, because if
Dan
you
made
know,
it sound like that
Yeah.
one
I
time.
know, yeah.
He was like, yeah, he was on the stunt team.
if you
Like,
know Dan
Yeah.
told me that you were a stunt man at one point in time. So I'm thinking you're like flying through car windows and like,
so we need Dan to write resumes because he makes it sound nice.
yeah, right.
I like it.
That's funny. So Tyler, how did you like kind of get yourself out of burnout then? Was it like, I mean, I guess you're not fully out of it with CrossFit, but like, were you even doing any competing from 2018 Intel Grid at all, or?
Not really. I think I could count maybe 3 times I've done like a fundraiser competition workout, but even then I wasn't really doing CrossFit per se. I was just kind of like bro lifting and doing some conditioning type stuff.
He basically trains CrossFit though. I mean, you do.
Yeah, I do now.
It was just like not like blackout, like those
Yeah.
types of moments. It was just like, yeah, he might be doing intervals or something like that. But if our kid runs in front of him and makes him mess up or whatever, it's not a big deal kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. It was, the intensity level was maybe like 85. Sometimes you'd touch 90.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that makes sense. Do you feel like you had no desire to compete until grid, or?
I think there was always like a desire there of like wanting to do something because like during that time I think is when I done a triathlon.
Oh, okay.
So just kind of like venturing into other things to see kind of what else was out there, and then grid
Yeah.
fell in my lap, and it's like, oh well, this is what I can do now.
Okay. Got it. Got it. That makes sense. And then now, so like, are you still firefighting or?
I volunteer now.
Okay.
I left full time fire service like 2021, I believe.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was full time for about 3 years,
Yeah.
and then I went to full time online coaching in like
Okay.
20.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And then Carrie, like you, it does seem like you guys have been like very, very, like you guys have a lot on your plates. Like you're doing online coaching, have a family. Like Tyler, you were a firefighter. Carrie, you're like full-time mom as well. So like, how do you guys feel like the best way to organize your guys' life is? Like, does one person get to go out to the garage and work out, then the next person goes out, or like how like kind of what do you guys structure everything as right now?
I mean, kinda, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty much how it goes.
but our kids go to half day school. So they go to like a half day program. And I will say that we fit like our entire day in those little 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's really
Oh,
sad.
okay.
Yeah, we try to do that.
I get my client meetings done. I get my workout done all before 12 o'clock. So that way it's like I can deal with the kids after lunchtime.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Then
Because how
usually
old?
I do mine.
Yeah.
That so, and then you kind of do yours after lunch, Carrie, or
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
The kids are getting older, so it's a little bit easier to work out with them
Yeah.
in the gym.
Okay, yeah. Because how old are they now?
One's about to be 4, and the other one is 2.
Okay, sweet, sweet. So, and how tough was it to come back after the pregnancies, Carrie?
I mean, I get that question like all the time, and people are like, "Oh, you bounced back" or whatever. But I
Yeah.
really didn't because like I worked out the whole time while I was pregnant. Like I pretty much just scaled things and moved things, and I worked out the whole time. I would say it's harder now than it was like when I was pregnant or anything like that, just because I have 2 kids that I have to like watch and deal
Yeah.
with. When they were like a part of me, it was actually easier.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I never really stopped doing anything.
Yeah. Okay. So how quickly, or I shouldn't say quickly, but how much do you feel like that helped you, like, after the pregnancy, just like with strength in general? Like, do you feel like that was pretty important for you to be able to have an active lifestyle after pregnancy, or?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like, I will, with my second one, I had like a worse birth experience, I guess you'd say. So I didn't go back as quickly. But I mean, like my first kid, I was after we had him, and I literally was in the gym like snatching a week later. It was really bad.
You didn't did you do Wadapalooza that year?
Yeah,
Did you?
I think so.
I think you
I've
did.
pretty much done Wadapalooza every single year except for this year. It's really sad. But
Oh,
like
bummer.
every year since like 2016.
So you were almost at like a 10-year Wadapalooza athlete.
Pretty much. Like I don't know. Yeah, cuz one year they didn't have it. I think it was 2021.
Yep.
Cuz
Yep.
2020 I did it and then the world shut
I
down.
did-
right
that was the same year I did it too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then the
Yeah.
world shut down.
Yeah, yeah. So then the next year we didn't do it, but then I've done it every other year. So it's
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Man, that would be. I wonder if anyone's had as long of a streak as you at Wadapalooza.
I don't know, but does that make me old? Just,
A veteran. Makes you more experienced.
maybe. Maybe.
So, okay. So you would come back after the second one a week after? Like you were snatched?
Second one was a little bit longer.
Second one was a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay. First one
I
you
did
came
go back
back.
to work after a
Yeah,
week later.
A week after you went back to work.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was a full-time physical therapist, and so I went back to work with
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
right after.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a traumatic birth. Like I will spare you guys the details, but
Mm.
it took a little bit longer to get back after the second one.
Okay.
So
Got it. Got it. So after the first one, though, you were back in the gym snatching after a week.
yeah, it was like,
Pretty much.
yeah. Like the only thing that I didn't really do was like I tried not to do like double unders and stuff like that to just kind of give myself some time, but
Mm-hmm.
really there was like not much of anything. I did the open right after, and that was like I think I had him December 29th, and then
Mm-hmm.
the open that year was like the first part of February or something.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
was it? Were you? I mean, were you? How heavy were you lifting after the birth?
I mean, you had to watch it a little bit, just
Yeah.
because you're.
Well, I
cool.
was weak. Like that's the thing. That's what's really funny because the last time I PR'd my clean, I was pregnant.
Really?
Yeah. Like, and I'm not talking a little pregnant. I'm talking like 10 months pregnant. Not 10 months.
Like this
It was
should have
like-
been out a month ago.
That's how it felt anyway. I'm a little dramatic, but yeah.
That okay? So you were getting stronger during your pregnancy. I don't think that's common, right?
It's actually pretty common.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Oh, is it really? Okay. The hormone dump.
Well, you
Yeah.
have to realize you have like all this growth hormone, and if
Yeah.
you
Right.
can kind of use that to your advantage without doing anything crazy, because obviously you got to worry about like your core and all that kind
Right.
of stuff, your pelvic floor, all that.
Right. Right.
But yeah, that was. I mean, I would say that was my strongest, but then I had the baby, and then I was like a weak noodle again.
Yeah. And do you think that was just because like abdomen was like and pelvic floor was just need to be like strengthened again, or?
Yeah, definitely. I had like a big separation, and so I had to really work on that.
Yeah.
And then also like I breastfed both kids. Like that was kind of funny because like when we started Grid last year, like I showed up to camp with I have like my booby pumps. I don't know if I can say that, but
Whatever.
And I'm like, hi everybody, you know, like I'm this person on your team, and I just had a child.
That's
But
awesome.
that was kind of awkward. But like with that, it like sucked the fat off my body. So like I got really skinny for a little bit.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
So it
Wait,
lost some strength.
breastfeeding sucked the fat off of your body, or
Yeah. Yeah.
really? Huh.
Yeah. They
I've not
say
kno-
every 1 ounce that you pump is like 20 calories. And I was
Really?
pumping like 32 ounces a day. So I would eat like all kinds of stuff.
You're like, oh, I'm a teenager again. I can eat whatever I
It
want.
was the best. It was the best. It was great.
That's I didn't realize it was that like you burned that many calories breastfeeding. So that's I guess you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Okay, that so yeah, because I've worked with a couple people that have been pregnant. We kind of just like really monitor them and just let them feel out their body. And is that kind of similar thing? You were just kind of like feeling out your body throughout the course of the pregnancy. Some days feel better, some days feel worse, type thing, or
Yeah, I mean, it's so different for everybody. Like that is my number one thing on like Instagram. People will send me messages and be like, "Hey, when did you stop doing this or when did you stop doing that?" And it's like it's so different for everybody. Like I competed so I had him in I had him in December, and I competed the end of October. So I was pretty big
Yeah.
I competed on a team. And I still did burpees and everything. Like, obviously,
Wow.
they were really weird looking, but like I did everything. I did box jumps, I did burpees, I did all that kind of stuff.
okay.
But like some people really cut that stuff out early, and I think it just depends on how you feel.
Yeah, yeah. So more so that it's just kind of going by feel for most people, and it's like it's super
Yeah.
different for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's very cool. Honestly, like your birth experience, like this is the first one I've ever heard of that's like somebody hit a PR in their like birthing period. So that's pretty cool.
It was highly frowned upon by my doctor.
So you changed doctors after that first one?
I mean, they just pretty much realized I was going to do what I was going to do. But I'm
Yeah.
a physical therapist too, so like I know
Right.
that there are risks and all that kind of stuff. And like, I was very mindful of my core,
Mm-hmm.
but I I think a lot of it too is genetics and like how like how your frame is. Like I've always been. I have a very short torso and stuff, and so like the separation in my abs, I think that would have happened regardless.
Yeah. Okay. Because what is that called again?
So diastasis recti
Yeah.
is where it comes apart, and it happens with everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just some people have more of an issue with it than others. And I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
did all the things that I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably say that working out maybe made it worse, but I, you know, I don't
I
know.
feel that's such a hard thing to say because like you're saying, like I feel like it's more just how much almost like space you have for the baby to grow,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like more so than like actually doing
yeah.
working out, you know. But
Well, just like everything, research keeps changing. Like at
yeah.
first, it was like, oh my gosh, you can never cone. You can never have that. You don't want to have that separation. And now, like if you look at the research, now they're saying, okay, well, you can, but not this much and not that. And, so.
Oh, so it's okay. So they're saying and remind me what coning is.
So coning is where your abs have separated and
Mm-hmm.
you can literally see like you basically have a big dome
Mm-hmm.
on in your core there.
Okay.
And you don't want to like exacerbate that. You don't want to make that worse.
Okay. Okay. And now they're saying that's fine. You can do that or
Well, they don't really say it's fine, but they say that it's going to happen and this and that. And like there's a lot of really good people who specialize in that and
okay.
they know like the up-to-date stuff, but the research does change on that. And it's kind of like nutrition. Like one decade they think this and then the next decade it's like, "Oh, actually we were wrong."
Yeah, yeah. Was it
So,
like egg yolks were bad at one point in
yeah.
time, then
Yeah.
they're good, then they're bad again?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's sweet.
That's
Um,
funny because we have to defend eggs and bananas more than anything that you would ever imagine.
yeah, working with your clients.
Yeah.
So
So
what?
funny.
Yeah, yeah. So I actually kind of wanted to get into that. So like you guys have had quite an experience, like, working in a gym, owning gyms, firefighting. Like, what kind of brought you guys into the online space now?
I mean,
You started.
yeah, I started it. I
Hmm.
started it whenever I was still full time. I saw an ad on Facebook one day
Hmm.
that this company called Fit Responder was hiring,
Okay.
and they specialize with coaching first responders.
Hmm.
So I was like, well, I'm, currently a full time firefighter. I got all the experience that I have in fitness. Let's see what happens. So
Yeah.
tried it out, and I worked part time for them for about 6 months, and they offered me a full time position and asked if, hey, would you be willing to leave the fire department and do this full time? And I was like, yeah, I'll work from home and make more money than working at the fire department. Like that was a no brainer for me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very cool. So it
Yeah.
literally was just a Facebook ad.
Yeah. It
That was
was
what
literally a
started it.
Facebook ad that
Yeah.
I saw on Facebook just scrolling one day.
Wow. Okay. And you just kind of, it seems like you guys are very confident in just like taking leaps into things. Is that,
Yeah. Not really. I
I
mean,
was pretty nervous about it for sure. It's like, you got the job security with the fire department. I'm
right.
always going to get a paycheck. Like we
Mm-hmm.
always need firefighters. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
the fitness industry is always changing,
Mm-hmm.
especially just with this past year. Like we saw, decrease in sales because people, afraid to spend money, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
well, I was still working. So I was still working full time as a PT. So it
Okay.
was, we had that security part.
Right.
yeah,
But then he started doing so well, and then we started kind of our own thing, and we got
Okay.
clients there too. And so
Okay.
I was jealous. I'm having to go drag people out of bed every day and beg them to do PT, and they're, not wanting to, and I'm fighting with
Complaining the whole
insurance
time.
companies, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we that's what we kind of did. We ventured off, and we actually started our own thing. It's called Life Redefined.
Okay.
And now Life Redefined contracts with these companies. So, we
Oh,
have,
okay.
yeah.
Very cool. So yeah, maybe can you just tell us a little bit more about Life Redefined?
We're basically still just like some online, health and fitness coaching. If someone wants to get better at specific skills, we'll help them with that. If someone wants to just lose some weight, we'll help them with that. But what she means, like by we contract, our business contracts with Fit Responder, our business contracts with the company she works for, and they just funnel us clients basically.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
Sweet. Sweet. And then you just coach them online then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very awesome. That's
It's
sweet.
awesome. I mean, I feel like I make more of an impact with that than I was when I was a PT. And I mean, I've
Yeah.
worked in a lot of different settings. It's just that the insurance aspect of it and all of that is like, there's a lot to it. And hopefully healthcare can get away from that, but
Yeah.
it's pretty bad.
Well, I feel like too, like when somebody's reaching out for help online, it's like they're paying for it too, and so like it's a very serious goal that they might have, and so they're way more motivated to do it. Where like you have to deal with depression and all sorts of stuff when somebody's trying to recover from an injury, and like it's like
Yeah.
it can be pulling teeth to get them to actually do the stuff that they need to do.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, that's very cool, guys. So Grid next season, Fittest of the Coast coming up here. Any big life things coming up or birthdays? Kindergarten?
That I think of. No.
I'm pregnant. No, I'm just kidding.
No. We don't-
We're done.
That's not happening.
We're done. No doubt. Well, awesome. Yeah. Fittest of the Coast should be a good time. I think, Carrie, I think we have like 16 people going out there at least. So, yeah.
Cool.
Are you doing team too or just individual?
No, just individual.
Just
See, we
indie?
should have
Okay.
done team. Could have made him do it.
Next year, Tyler.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Although he can't do any pull-ups right now, so maybe
I
that's
still
not.
can't do really much pull-ups. So
You got, I think it's 8 months until the 9 months until the qualifier now. So you're good.
I mean, I got to be better for grid season, which I
Yeah.
will be.
I think he
Yeah,
will.
yeah, for sure. Sweet. Well, thanks for coming on, guys. How do people find you? How do people get a hold of you? Find your business?
We mainly use Instagram.
Yeah.
Our personal our personal Instagrams can funnel into the Life Redefined Instagram as well.
Okay. Cool. Can you guys just throw your Instagrams out there? It's super simple.
My personal one's just Billington Tyler. Yours is what?
Mine's Carrie Billington _828 because Carrie Billington was taken.
And then our
828.
Yeah, hey, that's our area code. So like, it's kind of funny. I've been on a lot of teams, and we are always the 828 heroes.
Oh,
So like, that's what
very
we were.
cool. Sweet. Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on, guys. Thanks everyone for listening. Hit them up if you guys have questions. They're doing some big things in the fitness industry. They're still competing, which is impressive. 10 years into the sport of just high intensity and still going. So that is an impressive feat. But we'll catch you guys next time here.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.